Welcome, everybody. I'm Cindy Jerome. I'm your town moderator, and welcome to our pre-town meeting, informational meeting. I am so excited we're getting together again this year on March 5th. It's been so long. So this can be a relatively informal meeting. We're not making motions. I'm not going to use the gavel unless somebody gets out of order, or as Harold was saying, hot under the collar, and then what. So we're going to do a couple of things tonight. We're going to start by asking most of the candidates to introduce themselves, and then we'll see if anybody wants to talk on any other articles other than the budget. I'm sure we'll go over the budget. That'll be helpful, I think, to everybody. So any questions before we begin? All right. So when I say not everybody, I'm not going to be asking auditors and listers to introduce themselves, but we are going to start with Laurie Frechette, who has special dispensation to just speak from her seat since everybody already knows her.
Hi everybody. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Laurie Frechette. I've had the pleasure and honor of serving as your town clerk for the past 6 years. Everyone else and I who work in the town office take great pleasure and pride in making it a welcoming place for everyone to come and visit. And the only other thing I have to say is that I hope you will consider re-electing me for another year. Thank you.
Next, I'll ask Chris Brown to come up front. Charlotte Annis is retiring from the position of treasurer, and Chris is running for that office.
So I've been penalized and asked to come up front. First of all, I hate public speaking, but I am Chris and I'm a candidate for town treasurer. The reason is pretty simple. I've been in Dummerston for over 20 years, and I've lived a lot of places, and this is the best place I've ever lived. So I've always wanted to participate in the town, but job and life just always got in the way. But now this opportunity has come up, I'm gonna try it. I have no professional experience as an accountant, but I have spent a lifetime managing mainframe installations for large insurance companies, banks, international banks, warehousing. So I have an acute attention to detail. So I spent the past, since the beginning of January, sitting with Charlotte, current treasurer, and she's been trying to teach me the tools of the trade, and we're getting there slowly. So I hope to serve you, and I'll field any questions if you have any.
Have you been involved in any other Dummerston community groups over the years?
I have not. I'm sorry.
Just asking.
That's okay.
We can get you involved.
You better go sit down.
I think I had over my head already.
Okay, thank you. Next, I'll call on Todd Davidson, who's running for the 3-year select person position.
I will also be penalized. I've been introduced by name. So I've been on the select board since July. I was appointed to a seat that was vacated. So it's been about 7 months, just in time to go through the budget process. So that was great. I thought it was a nice time to bring me on board. I swapped over. There's 1 year remaining on this seat, but I actually swapped over to Zeke's seat that was vacating for 3 years, possibly against my better judgment. For those of you that don't know me, we've been here about 5 years. We live on Middle Road. I retired from the Air Force in 2006, and I work for GDIT doing proposals and a lot of government contracting work from home. So my wife and I can both sit home, work side by side, and hang out with our now registered dog. Register your dogs?
Yes.
But
Got number 2.
Yes. I've got to know a lot of people through various things. We play cribbage here on Monday nights. If anybody wants to come, feel free. I'm also on the Wyndham Regional Commission as Dummerston's representative. I've been doing it for about 3 years. And so I got to know a lot of the area and the things that are required in the region as well as in the town over the last 6 months. So I'm pretty excited to give it another 3 years. and we'll see how it goes. Any questions?
He's a great cribbage player too.
I'm not that good of a cribbage player. I think they only come for big points.
Next, I'll call on Tom Nolan. I'm sorry, Thomas. Do you prefer being called Thomas? No, Tom is fine? Okay. Tom is in the running for the 2-year select person position. Mhm.
Yeah, so my name's Tom Nolan. I've been living in Dummerston for about 8 years. I'm currently on the Energy Committee where we kind of discuss ideas about ways to improve efficiency and how we use energy in the town. I served a term on the Wyndham Southeast School Board, where I chaired a committee on social justice and a committee on climate change. And I'm a father of 2 kids, and I want to keep this town really green and healthy and vibrant for them. And I want to keep it affordable so that we can all afford to live here. Those are my main things. Keep it green, resilient, and affordable. So, I'd like questions if you have any. Yes.
What seat are you running for?
The 2 years.
And
The 2 year seat. Yeah.
the 2-year seat? And is it open now?
Mhm.
And what is your daytime occupation or
I
life?
have a couple. I have a side gig like a lot of people. My main job is an appraiser, so like if you have a loss in your house, and I focus on like antiques and musical instruments. I help people appraise them. I used to be with the people who did Antiques Roadshow. So, yeah. And then I also teach English as a second language to children in China, which is incredible. But I do that alone, obviously.
Thank you.
Have you had the opportunity to attend any of the select board meetings and get up to date on what some of their issues are?
I've attended a couple, and I watched them online. Yeah.
What made you want to run for select board?
The glamour, I guess. I like being on the school board because you can affect like good change. You can make sure that things are being done properly. When I went on the school board, that was when we were merging, and people were really anxious about like what's going to happen when we merge. And I wanted to be a part of it to make sure that it was done properly and that everyone was treated fairly.
You said you had 2 children?
Yep, 3 and 6. Yeah,
They were all in elementary school?
kindergarten and preschool.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So I'm going to back up a little bit before calling up our next candidate. I should be clear that both Zeke and Lewis are going off the select board. We have 3 open seats. One of them is the one that Todd is just finishing up. So there are no contested races for select board. And in fact, the remaining opening, which is finishing 1 year of a 3-year term, another unfinished term, that no one took out a petition for that seat. So Paul Adler is mounting a write-in campaign, and he's here this evening to introduce himself. Paul, will you come up?
Hi, my name's Paul Adler. I've lived in Dummerston for 2 years, but the house that we live in, we're Ann and Pete Nash, and that's been in the family for a little over 100 years. In the past, while I've retired, I was working for NIH doing research, cardiovascular research. In Tallinn, Connecticut, where we used to live, I served multiple terms in Board of Education. I was chairman of the contract negotiation for teachers. Been on the fire department for 15 years. And ran on the ambulance in what we used to call the Popsicle Squad, Rescue Dive Squad. And I would like to, I love Dummerston. I want to keep it as beautiful as we can. And I would like to try getting more involved in public. We do the Apple Pie Festival, of course, and we've done that for multiple years. Thank you.
Have you attended select board meetings or watched them on?
I've not really attended any yet. I've watched them on TV.
Thank you.
Do you have any issues or anything that you are concerned about?
Well, some of the things I'm concerned about, I think one is the covered bridge. I'm thinking that that's getting too much usage, and there's not enough signage for what side has the right of way. Also, I think some of the things that concern me is the speed in which some of the cars are traveling on the road. We need to have some type of policing or something along that line. I mean, I've talked to the state police over an incident that happened earlier, but it wasn't regarding that, and they said, "Oh, we'll be happy to park here and, monitor." But other than that,
I think
those are my major concerns.
you'll get a
and
lot
safety.
of people talking to you about that one.
Alex?
Yeah, Paul, I believe you got involved with the Maple Valley permitting process. Do you want to talk about that, or am I mixing you up with?
Ross person.
I'm sorry about that.
No. I've also been involved with the firewood, getting firewood for the church. We've cut down, 17 cords at one point. We've got another 17 to go.
So Cindy, this might be more a question for you. How many signatures does a person need for a write-in?
None.
None?
You do a petition to get on the ballot. Paul's not on the ballot. He's mounting a write-in
But
campaign.
how many votes?
But how many-
How many votes would he have to get then?
30.
Sorry, I asked the wrong question.
30.
At least 30.
30.
30 votes.
Minimum
Okay.
of 30.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
What was your professional life?
I work for NIH doing clinical research on cardiovascular heart disease. I looked basically more or less in echocardiography, looking at diastolic dysfunction of the heart. We all develop diastolic dysfunction at about age 45, and then it continues as we progress in age. I was part of the Baltimore longevity study.
Where do you live?
In Green Mountain, Camp Road, 39 Green Mountain.
The Nash House.
Right on the corner.
Right on the corner.
Okay.
You said were you an EMT or anything tied with
I was
you?
an EMT firefighter too. The rescue dive squad, lieutenant on the dive squad. And also what they call CISD, which was clinical incident stress debriefing. I did that also.
Do you anticipate becoming involved in our volunteer fire department?
No. That's in the past. I'm a little bit too old for that now. Hauling hose and what have you. Cutting wood and making jewelry is good for me. Any other questions? Thank you.
I can't help but mention that 4 of our 5 select board members have beards. The only one without is Maria. And the 2 candidates for the select board also have beards, so apparently that's a qualification.
Have to call them
Is
whiskers.
there anybody else here who plans on mounting a write-in campaign?
That's for library trustee.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
What's your name, please?
My name is Linda DeCarlo-Burns. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
So you're going for the 5-year library trustee position?
Yes.
And nobody took out a petition for that, so Delaney, get your...
It would be a write-in.
Yes. Introduce yourself, thank you.
Okay, so my husband and I just moved here in October. And I was looking for a way to get involved in the community and get to know my community, and I saw that they were recruiting for a library trustee. So I thought, oh, well, a perfect opportunity. I come from a big family of educators. My mother was a librarian. I thought that would be a great way to do it.
We moved here from Teaneck, New Jersey. In Teaneck, I was on the Board of Education. Teaneck is a town of about 40,000 people. I was also vice president of the Board of Ed for 1 year. And I've always been very, very happy to be involved in the community and give back and serve. So that's it. So I'm hoping that you would write in my name, Linda DeCarlo-Burns.
Welcome.
Thank you. If anybody has any questions, yes, sir.
Can you write your name on the board?
Over there.
Just out of curiosity, how
I
does
don't
it work?
see any
with the
chalk. I don't see any chalk.
If it's close, it counts.
It counts, it depends.
Oh, your name's easy.
Yeah.
We can tear up a piece of paper and post it on.
School's been closed too long.
But also, would you say your name again slowly and louder?
Okay, Linda,
Linda.
and then my last name is hyphenated, DeCarlo-Burns. I'm known as Linda Burns mostly, but on my voter's registration, it's DeCarlo-Burns, so you have to be legal about that. There you go. Thank you. And I'll write it, post it up there.
Does someone have to write in both parts of your last name?
No. Yes, because I believe that's how I'm registered to vote, so you would have to probably do that. I mean, I don't know, New Jersey is very particular about that.
As long as, if someone wrote in Linda Burns, it would be accepted. Yes.
Oh, okay,
It
good.
would be, as long as we can know what the intent was.
How about Linda?
Right.
Yes.
Would Linda work?
No.
Thank you very much, Linda. Glad you raised your hand and glad you're doing a writing campaign. That's great. Anybody else trying a writing campaign? Okay.
Wait, I think Louis White is.
Ha I think Louis is determined to retire this time. But who knows, maybe he'll do a third round someday.